just laughing, you know.
Yeah.
In a sort of a conventional pop song.
I don't know. It's never been a conventional. We're not conventional musicians in a sense. It's mostly about imagination, as opposed to skills on instruments and a traditional kind of music upbringing. It's much more sort of it's fucking different than that. You know, it's just a different history, a different type of working. So it is going to be a little bit more abstract than the average way of writing songs. You know.
Okay. Cool. Right, well, let's cut to a question here from Naya, asks Massive Attack. Which contemporary artists do you find most interesting, brackets, visual arts? Are you a great visual artist, Jay?
Me? No, not really.
No?
I don't really know much about art, I'm just into music, really.
You know what it's like.
I am music, I am Mr. Music.
You're Mr. Music. Do you
no, not really, that's not true, but, you know, from an artistic point of view, you know...
What sort of art turns you on then, or do you buy art for your home?
No, not in the slightest, no. I don't know anything about art at all, really. You know, the only person I know is...
Leave all today.
It's 3D, actually.
And that's stretching it. That's stretching the metaphor, to be honest.
Go on then, Dave.
Oh.
Are you going to reel off a list of...
No, I'm not actually. I mean, I've never been... I like art, and I'm really turned on by visuals and graphic images and symbolic images and all that sort of stuff, but I've never been a great sort of like art historian, you know what I mean? And I sort of try and get to what I like, and I often find it, you know, by accident, as opposed to actively seeking out something. Bump into it. It's a better way of doing it. It's like books, you bump into them, music, rather than sort of trying to delve too deep in one place. I don't like doing that. I'd rather sort of like just see what comes your way, and you know, sort of things happen. It's more fun that way.
You contributed a piece of music to Mark Quinn's. How did that come about?
Just purely through chance. I mean, I've sort of discovered his work, you know, by accident again about 3 years ago. I really got into it, and through a sort of mutual acquaintance, we found he was doing this South Bank Show film, and we had some music, so let's try some stuff out. And it's cool. He's a great artist.
And yeah, he's a very visual thing. Is he going to give a?
Yeah, well, you know,
a perspex.
Maybe take some of his best pieces off his hands. Some of his more expensive works.
I think so. I mean, the band itself has always been. I mean, you know, Dee sort of always had a big input into the visual look of what you produce, of the stage shows, the sleeve artwork. How important is the visual image of Massive Attack as opposed to the music that you actually produce?
It's always been important because we've always had it seems crazy to sort of find yourself in this really great position and not take an interest in how it looks, what it's wrapped in. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the first concept you might get with a new album, so from a band, is by the artwork or an ad or something, you know, a shot window display, a fly poster, or a video. You know, obviously you're talking about moving pictures, but it's got to be. It's all important because if it lets it down, it's not really doing justice to the 3 years you spent in the studio. And because, you know, there's so many things coming our way, ideas, and because obviously being visual just means that we collate as many images as we do bits of music. So by the time it's ready to go, you know, there's a lot of ideas already there, you know, sort of that go alongside the album very organically. It's just sort of meeting up with a load of sort of like designers at the end of an album going, oh, I like that guy's work, or this photograph. Yeah. It's kind of crap that way, you know. Some people will finish a record and go, best video director, best graphic artist, best stylist, and it's fucking bollocks, you know.
But you were actually making visual art before you started making music, is that right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was that whole kind of hip-hop thing as well. The whole thing was very much, you know, after the punk thing, which was very visual as well. As you know, the way it looked, the way people looked, the hip-hop thing was sort of like a bit of a kind of, you know, slightly different evolution, but it was also very visual. You know, a lot of it was about the way it looked, the images you saw.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, there's always been a kind of link-up with, you know,